Hello, I'm Toycat, and welcome back to part 3 of the Far Cry 5 Vietnam Let's Play. It's not called Far Cry 5 Vietnam, it's called Far Cry 5 Hours of Darkness, but let's be honest, people refer to things by simple names. People don't use the crazy complex names they come up with, and given that there was a Battle Cry Vietnam, it would have made sense if they went with that. But they didn't. Also, we got a ghost village, so I'm thinking, let's get a good recon point and then snipe people, because I have a Dragunov anyway. But yeah, I never like when names are used to make things more complex, because the idea of a good name is it's simple, it's catchy, it's easy. A non-simple, non-catchy, non-easy name just means that a lot of people won't use the official one, and it's like, I think they did bad with the naming system. But today we're not here to criticize Far Cry 5's naming system, although I could do that all day. Maybe I should do that all day. Instead I'm here because I put some chicken in the oven, and it's going to take about 30 minutes to cook. So I figured, let's record a Let's Play episode, and that is the love and affection you get on this channel. Hopefully that's good enough for you. So the first thing I'm going to do is take down the guard box, because now the alarms are disabled. I think someone saw that, so I probably have to make sure I take them out here, because there we go. Oh, and we should get a point on our little slider box thing. Oh, no. Oh, how did he see me? Oh, wait a second, never mind. It's fine. So I lose my perks, but that's all good. We're just going to take people out one by one. No reinforcements can come to save them. So it's all just wonderful. But yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit more about trends and stuff. It came up in yesterday's Realms Royale video. And it's something I figured let's put a bit more talky 40 into. Because it came up a little bit after I called back. When I went out or went back from, oh god, there's someone nearby, I think. But so it came up again recently because I saw a sign, and because like there's a different type of trend I feel like that I really dislike, because I hate the concept of like trends and stuff like that in general, because or like even though I'm on YouTube where like a lot of things are driven by that sort of thing, but it's something I've always hated. And one of the biggest examples of this that I was like, I figured I could get it out there as like a personification of maybe, oh god, why is he not dying? How many? I no-scoped him 5 times, they all hit him, and he's just too strong for that. Mr. Big Man over here can't even be killed by snipers. So this time, this is actually like a hard one to take down. It's like, it's got that Far Cry reiterative gameplay. Bad for videos. Great for Toycat's entertainment value though. But one of the annoying trends I saw on the way home was like, it's a sign, and the sign says, on the right, tasty food. Up ahead, if you don't go into the store, bears maybe, wouldn't risk it. And the first time I saw one of those, it was in like Leeds a year ago, and I was like, that's funny, that's good, well played there. And then I saw another one, and I'm like, oh okay. And then I saw a bunch on Twitter where people were like, ha, saw a sign like this, but it's an entirely different place. And then you realize it's not this clever thing that happened one time. It's someone came up with an idea. It probably wasn't the guy I saw, and then it's just spread around since then. And there's something about that I really don't like when it comes to like trends and stuff. Like it's the same with stealing jokes, right? Like on Twitter, when someone posts a joke that's about pie or whatever, you assume it's their joke. You don't assume they're telling it, because that's how the joke is told. And there's something that, oh, I've freed the guy already. Look at me, I know how to liberate the village. Don't even need to shoot anyone. That's how all things like this should go. Easy. Yep, no one knows he's dead. It's good. Okay, yeah, people totally know he's dead. I'm gonna have to throw some C4 out there, I reckon. Oh god, I exploded him into my building. Okay, as long as he doesn't see me yet. Oh, I did it! Saving Private Walker. Didn't even get spotted. I am just golden at this. As long as I see him and not me, I still get to keep my my stealth perks, which is what I'm going for right here. So yeah, pretty solid all things considered. Let's just stealth out of here. And yeah, but like when someone steals a joke and they say it from a nice perspective, it's like, no, this is meant to be like you can't tell the joke from you when it's not. And I think it's just like a weird part of my own brain that's like that, where it's like, why don't we just all have our own stuff? Like if you're gonna take something from someone else, it feels weird that the convention is to not say that you did, Oh, get in the water. There we go. Look at that. That's how you fix fire in the real world. But yeah, it feels super strange to like take something and not say that you did. In the case of like a joke or something like that. And that's why I don't like like trends and stuff, because you'll think that it's someone's unique thought and it's not. Like obviously there's lots of situations. I want to clarify. that even though that's a thing that's annoying, there are situations where that makes sense. That sounds like I'm saying no one should ever take ideas and stuff, because lots of people take my ideas on YouTube. Sometimes, I'm sure, I've had the same idea as someone else, and that's like, A-okay, whatever. We can't enforce that because it's silly. But there are lots of cases where it's like, if you act like it's a unique fort, it should be a unique fort. Or at least there should be some reference to it. No, and I guess there's no way to probably do it. But that's what I don't like about trends. When trends lead to... Also, I think we've probably got to go further into the jungle. But when trends are actually leading into situations where... Also, am I meant to keep the friendlies alive? I hope that's not part of the 100%, because I'm not doing it regardless. Yeah, like, when it comes to, like, passing something off as you own, I don't know, it's just accepted, but I don't like it. And I don't know what the better way is, but that's what I don't like about trends. So, like, if every game that came out and said it was a Battle Royale claimed it invented Battle Royale, like, you know, PUBG is claiming it invented, you know, like, Battle Royale to some extent at least. And it's like, no, you idiots. That's something from before. The truth is, a lot of human work and cool stuff is iterative. Like, oh, it looks like... That red text makes it seem like it's a real bad thing to me. Like, I'm no expert, but red does usually mean bad. But yeah, so that was something I realized when it comes to the whole, like, trends thing. Like, trends are good when you like them. Like, even though I like that sign, I don't need to see it 50 times. And I'm going to keep seeing it, apparently. I saw it in my local place, and I was like, oh... You saw a funny thing online and figured it would help your business? That's not legit. But yeah, whatever. It's a thing. I don't know what the balancing factor is, but it's one of those, like, you know, the way human thought develops is strange. Because clearly... Oh, there's a AA gun nearby. Oh. We're going to take this guy out from behind. He literally looked at me, but doesn't see me apparently, which is good. That's the way I like these things to go. And I guess we'll take his mounted gun. We'll probably blow our stealth. Oh, okay. It said AA strike unavailable, but I guess they got to destroy their bridge first. Seems a little bit crazy and wild to me. But yeah, which is mostly going to be going around stealthing people. Just because I want to get my stealth perks back up, truthfully. Oh, gosh. There's a truck. Interesting. Oh, wait. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to see that was going to happen, right? Like, well, that's pretty tragic. You know, it sucks to be them in this situation. To be fair, I mean, like, again, I'm not going to criticize the people who just died, but it sucks. So yeah, an interesting thing about this game is, like, it really is like a peek into Vietnam, I feel like. And my feel on, like, Southeast Asia as a whole, having visited precisely once and therefore an expert on the subject, is that it really is this, like, cross between either heaven, like, or I guess both heaven and a bit of hell in one place. And I think it's interesting because it's so different to life anywhere else. It's almost like the same difference as, like, the end. Oh god, no. I'm going to be spotted. I don't know how I didn't get spotted. But I didn't. It's good. So we're going to throw knives at both these guys. And hope that... Oh no, I missed him! Thank god for that. So we got all our stealth perks. We have to snipe the guy in the tower. He's going to be the biggest threat if he gets me. No! Oh, okay. He spotted me, but he didn't get to alert anyone. That's all that counts. There we go. We're good. We crossed the bridge, and we only killed, like, 2 or 3 people. Perfect number to kill. I mean, like, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. Which is terrible, like, as a phrase, because you're meant to break eggs to make an omelette, whereas you're not meant to kill people when you're doing a mission like this. But we'll leave that comparison to the side. And say that, yeah, like, I think that's the thing. I don't understand why it is that should upset anyone, though. Like, even on my... Because, again, I realize, like, if you think about it, that's almost like what you define a hipster, right? Just like, oh, I like things when they're new and not widely done. Because, honestly, it's the same with, like... Because I go to a fair number of countries. Any place that's just filled with people... I don't care if they're tourists or not. I guess that's a thing lots of people go for. But any place that's just filled with people... or that, like, is widely visited, it always sucks. Like, I bet the Eiffel Tower, never been to it, bet it sucks. And because when you make any experience that's, like, meant for the mass market, you have to lose a certain amount of I feel like, at least, again, this is opinion time with Toycat, I think you have to lose a fair amount of other stuff. So I don't think I actually secured that camp. It sounds like I got my friend free, but I need to probably go back, which is sad if that's true. We'll work it out maybe towards the end when we have a vehicle and we can drive back easy. But for now, let's go left along this path, because I think forward is the intended path. Let's go off the beaten track a little bit, shall we? But yeah, so one of the things about like trends that's interesting is that they're actually like, oh god, it's not only the way you define. Again, I feel like, you know, that's what like a hipster is, right? Someone who doesn't like anything that's wildly popular. But the problem I've always had is that, like, because I would never define myself in that way, I personally. But then I realized, like, oh man, but because it seems almost like a super category, but maybe that means that I am one because I'm like too hipster to call myself a hipster. It's like, oh, I don't like this at all. Because again, anytime anyone attaches a label to something, there's some part of that label you won't like, because it's just the whole creating a huge tribe to define yourself kind of thing. Anyway, we got this man, sad story, don't care, something about crocodile, I'll tell his wife, it's all good. Okay, he leaves some ammo. It looks like there's another war front up ahead here. Whatever, it should be easy enough to do. I've got all my stealth perks, so let's just hope that we can actually use them this time. But yeah, so an interesting thing is that, like, the way that human behavior works of, like, you know, we like trends, we like things that we know and are familiar, etc. That actually is the same. I think I'm going to just explode these dudes, by the way. But that same. Oh god, they're being aimed by a. What is that? What is this? What is any of this? But that same kind of basic logic. So I'm going to throw a knife at this guy, I reckon. Can I do that? Easy. So now we're going to snipe these guys. Okay, so I got one bullet down him, but it didn't kill him. Even did that. I guess it missed, it just... Okay, so this is getting dangerous as they're getting closer. Okay, we're going to MP40 for a bit. Just to make sure that we really get them. One by one. Okay, didn't get spotted, kept on my perk. But, yeah, the thing though about like that whole trend psychology is, although it works in the reverse, where you convince people no one's going somewhere, one of the things okay, so this is where I'm terrible. This is why I'm glad I'm omitting it in some vague third part of a random second channel Let's Play. But one of the things I've always found to be terrible is that whenever people go, like, you might notice this if you ever look up any travel tips, one of the things literally everyone who goes anywhere asks for is a place where locals go. People ask for a place that other people won't go to. And it's like, that's a fine request. But you know, if anyone tells you, if that becomes widely spread knowledge, it won't work. So it's a silly kind of... Also, these crocodiles are friendly. But, like, I mean, they killed some Americans. So I'm not sure if I should consider them as such. Also, there's a blue guy over there. But, yeah, it's there's this... It's one of the most annoying things where, like, that can be used where, like, a lot of restaurants sell themselves as, like, this is a local code, you know, they make up a bunch of words, and they know those words trigger an impulse in your brain where it's like, oh, there won't be people there. But truth be told, if anywhere is trying to advertise towards you, the tourists, they're not. Whatever. It's you get my point. There's a lot of things that try to play up your psychology of even not expecting everyone to use it. Or the other one is, like, they do it in a way. One of my favorite economic concepts, because I like economics as a study, because it allows you to understand, I feel like, the world a little better, like why people do the crazy and frankly ridiculous things that people sometimes do. And one of the concepts which is never really greatly defined, because you can't really create many great examples in school because it's offensive, is something called a Veblen good. So I think it's named after an economist, so he's got a funny Italianish name. But basically, it's a concept that most things in the world are governed by supply and demand. Like, if there is more of something, then each of those individual things is worth less. Also, no sugar here. But there are a few goods in the world that have the inverse relationship, where they know that the more they increase the price, the more they increase the price, the more people will buy. They can make not only more money per good, but they can sell more of them. This is true for, like, Rolex watches, and, like, I'm sure to some extent, like a Ferrari or Lamborghini. That's why Apple increases the price of their phone every year, despite their costs staying fairly stable. Like, if you increase the price of something, you know, like having the premium iPhone X, it was the most successful level. By saying you can buy the normal price one, or for $200 more, you can have a different phone. Everyone's like, oh yeah, I got the nice one, it must be worth more. People buy expensive clothes all the time. Like, there is some quality you can get in, you know, a $10 t-shirt versus a $2 t-shirt, and maybe even a a $25 t-shirt versus a $10 t-shirt. I'm making up amounts. I don't know how much a t-shirt costs in America, but you know, I'm making up. But let's say $30 is probably the max where you're getting any more quality. If you pay $80, you're just feeling like you get quality. But that is enough for some people, and it's crazy that this psychology of like, I know not many other people can have it because it's expensive, leads to some things being worth more. There's a famous whiskey brand from Scotland. Even though whiskey connoisseurs, I think, you know, sniff at it and go, ugh, would never drink that whiskey. It's one of the most loved whiskeys in the world, and that's because they used to be a really good budget whiskey. Then they doubled their prices one day. Never explained why. Just said, look, prices have gone up by double. You can do with that information what you like. And now, funnily enough, as it just so turns out, more people like it because they feel like they're getting more value. They feel like it's more exclusive. They feel like less people can afford it. And I feel like that is like actually a damaging part of human like psychology and like economics and stuff. Because oh god, okay, I'm fine, I'm safe. So I really need some ammo. Or you know, should I just switch gun? No, I need it to be silenced. So I guess I have to use a pistol. It's not silenced either. So I'm using a bat or I'm using a sniper. Okay. Oh, that's good. Oh, I got an achievement for that one. Silent Death. What did I do? 25 stealth kills with the perks. Nice. I think I deserve that one. So the sniper rifle has like really slow firing bullets. I didn't even know bullets could fire this slowly, honestly. No! All my stealth perks. NBA Commander speed. So I have to go find that guy now. Oh, this is a commander mission. And I'm trying to do this with a sniper and oh, this is terrible. This is a whole... Okay, so let's just switch out. I don't want to switch out the sniper. I want to switch out this... Oh, whatever. This is terrible. This is all going... This is all going... Oh, no, I want to... Okay, we got this. We got this. So we have to go find that NBA Commander, which means running through. We just got our stealth kill achievement, so... I guess we can focus on that. But yeah, so... I don't know. I feel like that's the most dangerous part of games. Because, like, usually... the way, you know, markets and price and etc. is always driving more stuff for more people. Like, there are very few ways to get rich, if you're not rich already, that don't involve creating some value for someone in the world. There are ways, there just aren't many. And I feel like when we get to a world where most people will just be like, actually, you know what, price is all I care about. I'll buy something more expensive. It's like, well, that's an issue. That's like, that's not how you get an ideal world or whatever. Also, I'm not sure what to do about this besides, I guess, just shoot a bunch until the helicopter pilot. Yep, like that. But yeah, that's one of the big, actually, like, I feel like genuine, like, potential issues that you'll have in some point in the future, where enough goods are going into that luxury model. Like, everything goes hyper cheap or hyper expensive, and I think it's good to have the option, but it's also worrying. I know, maybe it's a way to separate, like, you know, there's always this theory, like, a famous phrase, actually. It's like, a fool and his money are soon parted. And it's like, that makes things better, because if someone's, you know, if someone doesn't want their money, then there are a billion ways to spend it. And having, you know, whiskey that costs double as much, that you feel like you get more value from, but don't, is good. But it also, it sounds dangerous in my head, you know. What if everything is like that? Because I try my very hardest to, like, work out what is the objective value of something. Like, there are very few things I buy for exclusivity purposes. I think I buy games at midnight, actually partially for exclusivity. Like, you know, I feel cool playing a game, although it's with everyone else. Like, I'd say there's a few multiplayer games I used to like playing early. I played the Call of Duty games early because I could find a contact that would do that. And playing Battle early before anyone else in the world had made me feel special and exclusive. But those weren't really purchases. That was like a thing. But I feel like if you're willing to spend money for that, I feel like, I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting. I haven't fully developed. I'm not an economist. This is just I'm parroting someone else's work to you. Again, his name is Viveland. But they're called Viveland Goods. Look into it. It's a whole study for economics. But they can never tell you too much about it in school because you can't. It's like it's called slander, but it's vaguely slanderous. You can't just you can't teach in schools that Rolexes are worthless and that people only buy them because they're expensive. Because, I mean, the truth is like, they can tell you a bunch about what's inside there, and if you believe it, then it's fine. Oh, there's a radio tower up there. I think. So we'll throw a grenade, maybe? Well, that did it. I think there was a speaker earlier that I missed as well, but you know, we'll keep focusing on this as we go. So we're doing pretty well so far, actually. I'm liking how this is, and given that we've just vaguely finished our point about the fact that like economics is confusing, and we'll get even more in the, you know, it's interesting that this world of trends and things going up and down, it's always existed. But they always seem scarier and scarier as like things go forward. And I heard the funniest phrase that kind of sums up as like, you know, every technological advancement in the first 20 years of, or 30 years of your life, you love and you think it's the future. Every technological advancement after that, you're like, oh, this is unnatural, this shouldn't be done. And it's funny like how true that becomes. And it's probably true the same with like, you know, I'm scared because more and more stuff just wants you to think it's exclusive. And more things are trying to just make you spend a lot of money that you probably necessarily don't have on these exclusive looking experiences. But maybe that's the way the world's always been. Like, you know, some people bought expensive fridges because they were sure they'd be better. You know, maybe that's a thing that existed before anyone could travel anywhere in the world. Like, besides North Korea, you can go anywhere. Maybe that's what people did and stuff. I'm not too certain. I feel like the world of history would be so much better if we could like encapsulate our time. And like, you know, I think daily logging, in fact, not daily logging, like a live stream of your life, but like a normal life would be a valuable historic thing. That was the last 2 bullets I killed that guy with. I feel kind of bad for it now. But please have some ammo. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But yeah, I feel like a full live stream of your life would be interesting. I'd love to see, because you know, I'm gonna be honest, this is the most embarrassingly ridiculous thing to do. When I picture people from the 1950s, I picture their life in black and white. It's just, it's just how I do that sort of stuff. So like, you know, I don't know. I guess the reality is like, if you just don't care about, if you care too much about other people, I feel like you make worse decisions as a whole. If you need to care about them, but not try and limit them. You know, like people, if you advise people, they might do good things and they might do bad things. But I think that's always what it ends up coming down to, right? Actually, since I'm flying a little bit, my chicken's done. I need to finish this very soon. But one of the big thoughts I've had recently is, no, I entirely lost it. Oh no, it is, one of the things is like, you should always be tolerant of people, of you know, whatever criteria you think you should care about. But one of the things that I find interesting that people never consider is like, you should be tolerant of people who are intolerant, right? That is a thing that is no, like most people who are like, yeah, we're the best. They still need to have that enemy, and that enemy is people who don't think the same way that they do, that don't believe there are no enemies. You know, it's interesting that even when you know, it's like how even hips. Again, I'm going to say hips, right? I hate the term. It doesn't even really make sense. I don't like looking at every single thing that hips do. Like, oh yeah, they grow beards and they do this. It's terrible. I hate the term. I hate the things associated with it. I hate that there are terms for people. I hate that, like, you know, individualism isn't a big thing. But I think it's interesting that every single, even like a group defined by not doing things that groups do, have made a group from that. It doesn't make any sense, but that's how human psychology collectively operates. And with that said, I hope you all enjoyed this video. It was probably too much. Next time, we'll talk about guns. Shooty shooty bang bang. Look forward to seeing you in part 4 in 2 to 3 days, or tomorrow, or yesterday. Goodbye.